Hey everybody, how's it going? Geoff Shackley, drum instructor here at Freeway Music. Today I am coming to you with a fun little groove. I brought my cowbell with me today because I was originally taught this groove with a cowbell. You don't need the cowbell to play the groove. You can use whatever timekeeping devices may be available to you. But just being completely honest, everything is more fun with a little bit of cowbell in it. So use what you've got. But remember, you can always bug mom or dad or save up a little money on the side and go out and buy a cowbell and make your drum set that much better. Fun tip. So this groove, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at the halftime shuffle and the Dennis Chambers variant that, as I explained, did a cool thing. It's called 3/4. Basically, depending on how you listen to it, you can kind of feel like, well, is this in 3/4 time or is this in 4/4 time? And depending on what you're listening to, you can kind of hear the different times. This is another similar thing. If you listen to just my hands, you're probably going to hear 3. But if you listen more to the kick drum and the snare drum, you'll hear 4. So the 4/4 part, just breaking it down, it's really simple. It's just quarter notes. You've got your bass drum on 1, 2, and 4. You have your snare drum on 3, the last remaining beat there. So this sounds a little like this. Fairly straightforward, right? Perfectly fine, no problems. So you're thinking of that in 4. Now, when we look at the part in 3, here's the thing. That snare drum hit, the 3 of the part in 4/4, is actually going to come up as the and of 2 in the 3/4 section. Let me help that make a lot more sense than my words just did. So taking a look at it, now we are thinking in 3/4. You have cowbell, or maybe bell of ride cymbal, or bow of ride cymbal, or side of floor tom, or top of floor tom, or maybe the top of your head, whatever you want to play it on. You have that on your downbeats, 1, 2, and 3. The hi-hat, you're going to be playing closed hi-hat with your left hand over here, okay? That's going to come in a couple of different spots. And then your right hand is also going to play the and of 2 on the snare drum. So beat 1 goes 1 E and. 1 E and, okay? That should be a little more closed. Beat 2 is simple. It's just 2 E and. Your left hand stays over here on the hi-hat, okay? But your right hand plays 2 and. Pretty simple. And then on beat 3, it's just back to cowbell and hi-hat. You play 3 and So let's listen to just the hands together, the 3/4 part. Now, we've got to add the bass drum back in there, okay? So, remember, we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the same time, we're thinking 1 E and 2 E and a 3 and a 1 E and 2 E and a 3 and a. So, I'm going to play it a couple times slow and then start speeding it up. So it would help also, of course, to explain how the bass drum actually lines up. Typically, just being honest, I usually hear this beat in 3. That's just where my head goes, and that's kind of how I play around with it and solo around with it and have fun with it. So the bass drum, if you're thinking in 3/4 time, the bass drum lands up on 1, the of 1, so 1 and nothing across beat 2, and then it lands on the E of 3. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and okay? Again, it's a really fun beat. You can move it around, put some rolls in there, put some fills in there. So I'm going to play it a couple more times for you up to speed, do some fills and whatnot with it, and just let you hear how it goes. So again, 3/4. It's a cool feel. It just has a different movement to everything, and it's one of those things that if you play it without explaining to it, there's going to be a lot of people scratching their heads and pulling their hair out, trying to figure out exactly what cool thing you're doing. So I hope you have fun with this beat. Remember, if you don't have a cowbell, you can use whatever you want: ride cymbal, floor tom, head, whatever. But you should buy a cowbell. Have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good week.